And welcome back to Bitcoin Advisors channel. My name is Chris Mitchell, bringing it to you here from Westlake Village, California. It's another beautiful, bright and sunny day, and we've got a bit of red on the board here, and we're going to follow up on our targets from yesterday and make this video short and sweet, as we've got a pretty much a major trend line here that, as long as we are below this trend line on a not only 10-hour, a 6-hour, a 4-hour, but just in general below this pivot here, 23,100, we're going to expect that move to the downside to get carried out. I want to touch on what's going on in the markets and what Powell just said to spook the markets a little bit here, and a summary of today's little market committee. Essentially what Powell was saying is, over and over, he said, we have the lowest unemployment in 54 years. Right now it's at 3.4%. And then Elizabeth Warren went on and said, oh, so you're intending to lay off 2 million Americans. Essentially, Powell wants to see unemployment go from 3.4 to 4.5%. And that would effectively lay off 2 million Americans. And she just smacked him around and said, oh, what is your game plan to keep away the runaway train of unemployment from taking off? And one senator even said he could see unemployment going up to 7 to 10% based on historical goals and what the Fed wants to do and bring inflation down to 2%. Overall, though, here's what it said. So, number one, peak rates will be higher than anticipated. Meaning the federal funds rate will likely be higher than that 5.25. Revisions show inflation higher than expected. We have minimal deflation in services, and that hit me because it just seems like everything you go out to eat, you go to buy anything service related, and prices are out of control. Decisions are going to be made meeting by meeting. And inflation is going to be a bumpy road ahead, and a pivot from hawkish to more hawkish. So the other things to keep in the back of your mind is the economic calendar coming up on the 14th. I believe that is going to be CPI day, the 14th. And then the next one is going to be the 21st, the next federal rate hike. And found this really cool tool here, the CME Federal Funds Futures prediction, so to speak, chart, where you can track this. And essentially, the market is pricing in a 50 basis point rate hike around 63%. Now, this thing was at 50%. I'm sorry, it was under 50% going into the meeting. Now we're at 61.2. And looks like the market is finally getting a little relief bounce from kind of the typical, what we see is, essentially what we see, okay, going into the meeting, market goes down, Powell talks, market goes up. So an inverse kind of flippy flop there. And then I would say, just getting an hourly closure back above this pivot at 22,500 does probably give us a run up to the top side of this trend line. What else is going on? Dixie is slowly but surely inching its way up to our target. And we've been calling this one out for months. It feels like months, but essentially any kind of a daily closure above 105.64 is going to beget continuation to our green box of peace and prosperity or death and despair, and essentially probably a move lower for risk assets if we do close a day's daily above there, and that essentially is what we're looking at, is a move down towards this green box, as long as Bitcoin is below 23,110. And that was based off the 3-day bearish divergence, many drives, confirmed about a week ago. And, really we've seen the results of it thus going forward right now. So how would we, again, invalidate this kind of this idea that price action is going to come down to about 20, first target 21.2, and then second target is coming in at about 20,500. And then we just got to hope and pray that it holds there. If we hold there, we're in the clear, and not too much to be worried about. So that's it for Bitcoin. Let's follow up on Matic, something we've been following on our channel, and we did call out yesterday. We're targeting a move up to this green level right here, and that is at, call it 118. 118, and that was based off of this confirmation yesterday. At about 5 p.m. yesterday, we had a higher low confirmed. As you can see, you can get some reversal price action, and that was a pretty good liquidity grab right there. I do believe that target will get hit at about 118, and then I'm not ready to call it up only from there. But let's take a look at the measure move on this falling wedge, which typically these do break out to the upside. Could get a pretty decent move upwards here. If we do break out to the upside, measure move coming up all the way up to 127. You do have a death cross looming in our faces. And with what may be the result, I do have an overall target down to 103 here. So short term up, and consolidation in this little range here. A break to the upside of the downside of this range is probably going to get us that move to 121, or down to the bottom side of this range and bounce it from there. That's for Matic. Gala is getting rejected off the green 55 there. Do I see anything on the daily here? Other than a pretty strong rejection. I do think as long as we hold this level here, there is a chance for a leg higher, perhaps up to this zone, coming in at, let's see, the 2-day. 2-day already got the move up there. Strong rejection off the 9. 2-day will be closing. Let's check in on Bitcoin's 2-day. I'm going to check a cleaner chart. Wow, look at those squiggly lines. I wonder what that was from. All right, 5 minutes into this video, it is time to roll it on. Let's check in on NASDAQ and Bitcoin really quick here. So essentially, 2-day time frame, volatility is down. Our momentum is to the downside as long as we're below 23,400 today. So momentum will cross back up above there. 3-day time frame, this is pretty much the harbinger of death and despair, and volatility will likely tick up. 3-day will close, and as long as we're below 25,000 bucks, momentum will remain to the downside on the 3-day. Additionally, the 5-day is crossed down, volatility is resetting, and the expansion off of this one could very likely get us a move, to the tune of 20% or more, in fact. 20%, 30%. And that would be not surprising for me if Bitcoin does come kind of retest these lows but doesn't break them. That is my base case right now. And that's even if we swung all the way up to 30,000 bucks. I still think there's a chance for one more swipe lower. Do we want to check out on some of the other coins? And some of the other things to keep in mind is the Mt. Gox release on March 10th, coming up in 3 days. We'll check in on that. And then $27 billion worth of Ethereum unlocked. The Shanghai upgrade, we'll see if that happens. And then what we've been talking about is coins like Lido. Been very bullish, and does look like it is crossing down for some more downside. After that 5-day closure last night, kind of confirming this as a top. However, there wasn't too much volume on that. And did we put a target all the way in on this guy? That would probably be a excellent buying opportunity. Yeah, coming in at the 618 right there. Yeah, but I definitely think this one has room to come down to about 220 based off of the 5-day closure there, kind of confirming that as a top. We've been tagging this 9 exponential a few times, and looks like we just closed below it there. Getting a bit of a sell with declining volatility. So a mean reversion bounce is due here. As you can see, volatility began to decline here. Stokes crossed down once, crossed down again, and we'll cross down in the next 4 days below 265 for Mr. Lido. But we are saying, hey, perhaps these could bounce and be the receivership of the Shanghai upgrade. That's a weird candle. Poloniex. Maybe we should look on a different exchange. LDO. Crypto. Binance. Kraken. Gemini. Let's see how it looks on Gemini. Still a bit of a strange looking chart there. How's Sheeb doing? We talked about a bounce for Sheeb and did not quite get the bounce I was looking for. Looks like more downside displeasures for Mr. Shib. GMX, another one to keep your eye on, a decentralized exchange. I do like this one. And I'll just check in on the VIX. As the VIX goes down, stocks typically go up. When the VIX goes up, stocks go down. And we're below a 19 right now, and that is the area where you expect those bulls to kind of take control. Gala, GNS. Oh, look at this one. GNS had a big spike. All right, I think that's it out of me today, guys. Post a comment below if you want me to cover any other cryptos, and we'll check back in with you in the next couple of days with some more crypto updates. And just lastly, I mean, giving it away here, where we're targeting the move for Bitcoin. What a double top. And just looking at this again from a line perspective. Yeah, that does line up with the 1618. So any kind of a daily closure back below 21.5 very likely gets us a quick move down. There's probably going to be some stop losses here, and then the big liquidity buyers probably looking to buy a bounce somewhere around here or around this wick. If it does get going down that level, again, we need to reclaim that the breakdown area of 23,150 for us to talk about any potential upside targets. Another note here is that we are hanging along the 786 at the moment. So the longer we hang out down here around this green 55, well, really, we just need to get above 22.3, in fact, confirm this as a local low, and that could be good for some continuation up. That's it for me today, guys. Hope you have a blessed and highly favored day, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care.